Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Teresa and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. The purpose of the video today is to show you how you can create your own designer series paper using mini blending brushes, 3 different ink colors, and achieving a very soft blend look when you create your own DSP. I will admit that I am obsessed for the past week in learning how to blend. It definitely takes practice to get that really nice, soft, even look, and that is exactly what I've been doing. I've been practicing on paper after paper after paper, just experimenting with different colors to see how well they all come together. So in the card that I'm going to make today is featuring the Potions and Spells bundle set, stamp and the die. We're using both of them. This is something that is not in the annual catalog. You will find it through my online store. Go to my website, search bar, type in Potions and Spells, and this will pop up. If this is something that you really like, I encourage you to get the die set also, because there's just some really cute pieces in here that are just fun to play with. Now I'm going to show you one of the cards that I made using the technique of the DSP, using the blending, how nice, even, soft look it gives with the blending. I'm just having fun with it. It's just, no two cards are alike when you're using this technique, and I think that's part of what is attractive to me. Is I like to do things that are different and unique. Now, sorry, I am not going to duplicate this card with these same images. I decided to change it up, so hopefully no one will get upset. But I think what I will do is, with my blog information, I will include pictures of this in case you do want to duplicate it. So let me go ahead and put this aside, and I'll show you the cardstock that we're going to be using. The Granny Apple is 8.5 by 5.5 inches, and you score at 4 1/4. So you know I like to get my card base out of the way, so let's go ahead and fold and burnish that, and we can put that aside. Put that over here, and there is a basic black mat that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. I'm just going to leave that there for right now. The basic white measures 3 7/8 and by 5 1/8. And I'm sorry, but you can round it up if you need to. After I created the DSP, I put it up against the black, and I just felt like just a little bit of the basic black should be shown, and it just gave it enough of a pop, and it put focus on the DSP itself. But if you don't like these measurements, you can certainly change it up, not a problem. All right, let me get a piece of scrap paper, and let's create the DSP. We're done with that. So let's start. I think I've mentioned before, when I'm creating my DSP, I like to have a focus of a triangular shape, and I do the same thing with the blending. So I'm going to start with the Gorgeous Grape. It's just the one that's on top, and that's what I'm going with. Got my blending brush. Let me get these out of the way. And I know that I've mentioned before that it's just in my head. It's just the way I do it. I don't go back and forth. I just tap, and I start, put a lot of it on the paper, and then work my way in. So I'm just going to pick, let's just do this corner. And I start out light, because you can always go back. If you go too dark, you can't take it away, right? So let's do down here. Oops, see, I just did a blob because I went straight to the paper. But that's okay, because I'm going to go a little bit darker, and you're not even going to know that I did that, other than I just told you on the recording. All right, so I'm going to go one more. Let's see, I'll probably go right in here. Let's take it in here and see how I'm creating that triangular look. There's probably a name for this, but I don't know. All right, that's good for now. Let's try pumpkin pie. Tap it. Let's see, we'll go right here. Save room for the green there on my, right in here. That one. Ooh, that's still a little wet. Take it here. So much fun to do this. Very therapeutic. I'm having trouble with my words today. Let's see, triangle, so go this way. You can tell their shapes are different. They're not the same at all. That's good for now. Let me put that there. Let's go with the Granny Apple Green. Great Halloween colors, right? Let me put you over here, change it up. All right, so we're gonna go in this corner here. And remember to press hard. You can put your index finger and your thumb on the base of the brush. And for me, I can control the heaviness of the brush. And just put that right in there. That's so pretty. I love these colors. Well, you know, it's got purple in it, right? Can't go wrong with that. Favorite color. Right, that's very light, but there's the look. Let me bring that card out. I guess I kind of did it. Well, I changed it up. I did change it up. I like it a little bit darker, so I'm going to go back one more time. It's like giving another coat of paint, right? When you're painting your house, painting those walls. So it's nice, even. Just swirl it around. Yeah, I like that look. I think it'll pop really well. Yeah. So much fun. I've only done this method with 3 colors. I'm not sure with 4 colors. I got a thing about using odd numbered things, but if anybody uses more than 3, I'd love to hear about it. Let's do the pumpkin pie. Go back. Ooh, I got a lot of ink on that. I could tell the way I was patting that. Oh yeah, that looks good. Much better. I do like it darker. If you like it light, that's fine too. I just like that, the shading of it. I just think you can see the softness of the shading that I do when it's a little bit darker. I went a little bit over into the green, not a big deal. Right in there, it's not a big deal. It blends very nicely. All right, I think that's pretty good. Done with that one. Get that out of the way. And the last is the Gorgeous Grape. Tap it. Just rub it in there. Nice even blend. It is, now it's dry. It feels like it's wet, but basic white paper is really good when you're doing this technique. It's very, I used to call it slickery paper. It's just very soft, and it does very well with the inks. All right, I think that's good. What do you think? I think that'll work. I think that's dark enough. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. The basic black is 4 by 5 1/4. Get the scratch paper out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and glue that. And see, I was referring to about just being just a little bit of the black, basic black showing. I just felt like it popped instead of giving it more of a wider look. But you can do, if you don't like that small, you certainly can change the dimensions however you feel fit to do so. A little bit of glue girl. Got my tweezers. I'll line this up on my glass mat to help me. And just put it down there. Trying not to put my head in the camera. I moved my camera just a little bit to see if that would help with filming. All right, that looks good. Now, before I mount it to the card base, I have the sentiment from the Potions and Spells. That's a little hocus pocus right there. Now, this measures, the white measures 3/4 by 6, and the pumpkin pie is 5/8 by 6. Now, I did 6 because I'm going to be trimming it off, so I wanted to make sure I had plenty. So you may not need the whole 6" if you end up duplicating this card, but I'll have it on my blog as being 6 inches. I went and put dimensionals on there, and as you can tell probably in the camera, it's a little torn there. I told you before, it's got good dimensionals, Stampin' Up has, and I put it too far apart and I went to peel it up and it tore some paper. But no one will know unless they watch this video. So I'm going to put it at an angle. I'm probably going to put about like right there, I think. That's what I'm going to do. So peel the backings off. And even with me lifting up these dimensionals and moving it, it's still stuck. I didn't get new dimensionals at all. So I'm going to go ahead and line this up on my glass mat just to help me. And just kind of creating that triangle look there. You don't have to. You can do whatever you want. I'm just trying to center it. The words between the left side and the top. And get my snips, turn it over, and just snip away along the edge of the basic black. Do that on both sides. There we go. Oops, I cut a little bit of that black off. That's okay. I don't think you'll see. Yeah, we're good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere that to the granny apple. And I'm not going to pop it up since I've already popped that up, but you can certainly pop this whole piece up if you like doing that. I know I've mentioned before I don't typically do that. I'm careful about how many layers of pop-up I use. Put that down. I didn't even center it on, well, I guess I did center it a little bit on my glass mat. Bit of glue there. Get rid of that. Nobody will know. All right, wow, that just looks pretty by itself, doesn't it? Okay, so I said that I was not going to duplicate this, and I am going to dedicate this card to the Sanders sisters. If you guys have watched Hocus Pocus, you probably already guessed because of the title that I chose. So I did Pebble Path in honor of Mary. You guys are going to test my characters, right? In honor of Mary. I did Pumpkin Pie in honor of Winnie. And I did Lemon Lolly in honor of Sarah. I love that movie. I am not like into the Halloween horror flick things, but things like Hocus Pocus, that makes you laugh. It's entertaining. That's kind of my cup of tea. And what I had did is, I don't know if you can tell in the camera, I'll go ahead and do it just to show you. Do on the Pebble Path, I took my dauber, let me ink it up, and I just did the ends in the color using my dauber, inked up the Pebble Path, and I just lightly, I try very hard not to have a heavy hand, and just brush the tips of it just so that it gives it a little bit of color. Can you tell? There we go. I think, yeah, you can see right in there. So I did that on all of them. The Lemon Lolly was a little hard to see, so I decided during the filming, while I was filming, that I was going to go ahead and add a little bit more Lemon Lolly to Miss Sarah. And I label my daubers with a piece of paper because, you know, they start to turn and you really can't tell the difference. There, I think right, that's much better. All right, and I think Winnie's fine. So we are done stamping. And the linen thread is what I use for the brooms. I just, I think it's probably 3 inches, maybe 4 inches. And I just folded it in half and just did a knot and clipped it. You can add more, but I just didn't want to take away from it. So since I have this at an angle, I want to go ahead and line things up before I actually start gluing things down, just to make sure the alignment. You definitely want Winnie in the middle. And I don't like to have things in a straight line at the bottom when you've got all this, so I probably will put her up a little bit higher just so that her broom handle goes into the sentiment, and then I'll just do that. I think that looks good. That's what I'm going to go with. So I already have dimensional at the bottom, all those, and I'm just going to put just a little bit of glue on the handle just so that it'll adhere really well to the label. Just a little bit of glue. And just try to center it. There we go. Give that look. Oh, love it. I don't know if you guys, I'm not even going to tell you how many times I've watched this movie. It's been too many times to, I just love this kind of stuff. Just very entertaining. I like to be entertained when I'm watching a movie. Or it has to be like really adventurous, but not, no horror flicks for me. I'll have nightmares. And my husband says I scare easily. I might have to put a little bit more glue on there. I don't think I went down far enough. So I'm just going to put a little dab right there. There we go. There, that's better. Yeah, I didn't go down far enough, I can tell. All right, and then Miss Sarah. And the broom handle is really narrow, that it would be really hard to try to get a dimensional in there without showing. So I'm just going to glue it down, and it, you know, kind of gives that look. You got the bottom part popped up, and then the top is flat. Gives it a look. There we go. That is my DSP. I like it. Might need some embellishments. I might have to go back. I don't have any in front of me right now. And sometimes it takes me a little time to pick out the right embellishment, but I really like that. I hope you enjoy watching how to do this. Here's the other card. You can tell me which one you like better. This one is embossed to give it some texture. But you can tell the DSP is completely different. Just by the darkness of the blending and the colors, the location of the colors. So again, I hope you enjoyed it. Please give me some comments on it if you like it. If you tried the technique, I'd love to see what you create with it. And I appreciate you watching. Thank you for tuning into my channel, and happy stamping to all of you. Take care.